Most people completely misunderstand what it actually takes to start a business in France. And the surprising truth is, it's not the complexity that stops most entrepreneurs, it's the assumptions they bring with them. If you're planning to register an LLC in France, there's something extremely important you need to know first. France doesn't technically have an LLC in the American sense. And that one detail changes how you approach everything that follows. Let me explain. Imagine Michael. He's an entrepreneur from the US, looking to expand into Europe. He's heard that France has one of the largest economies in the EU, a strong consumer market, and access to the entire European Union. It sounds like the perfect next move. So naturally, he searches for France LLC registration. At first, everything seems straightforward. He sees terms like SARL and SAS, and assumes one of them must be the equivalent of an LLC. But here's where things get interesting. France offers multiple business structures, and the closest equivalent to an LLC is the SARL, Société à Responsabilité Limitée. But there's also another popular option called the SAS, Société par Actions Simplifiée. And this is where most people make their first big mistake. They choose a structure without understanding the difference. Now, let's bring in Sarah. Sarah wants to start a small consulting business in France. She quickly selects a SARL because it sounds like an LLC. But this is where things can go very wrong. The SARL has a more rigid structure, with stricter rules on management and ownership. And what happens next changes everything. As her business grows, she wants to bring in investors. But the SARL structure makes it less flexible. And suddenly, what seemed like a simple choice becomes a limitation. But here's the insight most people miss. In France, choosing the right company structure is one of the most important decisions you'll make. Now, let's go back to Michael. After learning from Sarah's experience, he decides to take a more strategic approach. He compares SARL and SAS structures. And this is where clarity begins. A SARL is simpler and more traditional, often used for small businesses with a limited number of partners. And SAS, on the other hand, offers greater flexibility, especially for startups and growing companies. And this small detail makes a huge difference. Because your structure affects everything: taxation, management, and future growth. Now Michael chooses the SAS because he wants flexibility. But here's where the next challenge appears. Company formation in France requires proper documentation and planning. And this is where many people get overwhelmed. David thought he could just fill out a form and be done. But here's the problem. You need to draft company statutes, legal documents that define how your company operates. And this is where things can get technical. Emily tried to use a generic template. And this is where things can go very wrong. Her statutes didn't fully comply with French law. And her application was delayed. So what's the smarter approach? Work with a legal expert, or use a trusted service that specializes in French company formation. Now Michael takes this step seriously. He drafts clear, compliant statutes. And this leads to the next step. Choosing a company name. This might seem simple, but here's where many people make a mistake. Your company name must be unique and not conflict with existing businesses. Jessica submitted a name without checking availability. And this is where things can go very wrong. Her application was rejected. So always verify your name before submitting. Now once your name is approved, the next step is depositing share capital. And this is where things get interesting. France does not require a high minimum capital for most company types. In fact, you can start with as little as €1. Sounds great, right? But here's the problem. Just because you can start with €1 doesn't mean you should. Daniel started with minimal capital. And what happens next changes everything. He struggled to cover initial expenses, which slowed his growth. So again, financial planning is critical. Now once your capital is deposited, you receive a certificate from the bank. And this allows you to proceed with registration. But here's where things can get confusing. You need to publish a legal announcement in an official journal. This step informs the public about your company's creation. Sarah didn't know about this requirement. And this is where things can go very wrong. Her registration was delayed because she skipped this step. So always include this in your process. Now let's move forward. You then submit your application to the French Business Registry. And this is where your company becomes officially recognized. But here's where things get interesting. France has streamlined its systems in recent years, making online registration possible. However, the responsibility for accuracy is still on you. Any mistake can lead to delays. Now, once your company is registered, you receive your registration number. And this is a powerful moment. Your business officially exists. But here's the problem. Many people think this is the final step. In reality, it's just the beginning. Because now you need to handle tax registration and social contributions. And this is where things can get complicated. David didn't fully understand his tax obligations. And what happens next changes everything. He faced unexpected charges that could have been avoided. So understanding taxation is essential. Now let's talk about banking. Opening a corporate bank account in France can take time. And this is where many entrepreneurs get frustrated. Banks require documentation, verification, and sometimes meetings. Michael prepared everything in advance. And this allowed him to complete the process smoothly. But here's where things get interesting. If your documentation is incomplete, delays are almost guaranteed. So preparation is key. Now let's talk about another important aspect. Hiring employees. If you plan to hire staff in France, there are strict labor laws. And this is where many beginners get caught off guard. Because compliance is essential. Jessica underestimated the complexity of employment regulations. And this led to challenges she didn't expect. So understanding labor laws is critical. Now let's pause for a moment. At this point, you might feel like the process is detailed and structured. And that's true. But here's the insight that changes everything. France is not difficult. It's precise. If you follow the system, things work. If you skip steps, problems appear. Now let's return to Michael. After carefully completing each step, choosing the right structure, drafting statutes, registering the company, and setting up banking and taxes, his business is fully operational. And here's the mini payoff. He now has a company in one of Europe's largest economies, with access to the entire EU market. But more importantly, he understands the system. And that gives him an advantage. Because while others struggle with confusion, he moves forward with clarity. Now let's talk about timelines. How long does it take to register a company in France? If everything is prepared properly, it can take a few weeks. But if you make mistakes, it can take much longer. And this is where preparation becomes your biggest asset. Now let's bring everything together. Registering an LLC-style company in France means choosing the right structure, usually SARL or SAS, drafting legal statutes, reserving a company name, depositing capital, publishing a legal notice, submitting your application, and completing tax and banking requirements. Each step matters. Each decision impacts your success. But if you approach it strategically, something powerful happens. Because you're not just starting a company, you're entering one of the most important markets in Europe. And that's the real opportunity. France offers access to millions of customers, strong infrastructure, and a gateway to the EU. But only for those who understand how to navigate the system. And once you do, you stop guessing. You stop making costly mistakes. You start making informed decisions. You become more strategic, more confident, more capable of building something that lasts. So if you're serious about expanding into Europe, France can absolutely be a powerful choice. As long as you respect the process and plan carefully. If you found this guide helpful and want more videos that break down complex global opportunities like this, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Because the more you understand these systems, the more control you gain over your future. And that's where real freedom begins.